Third video of the night. Okay, so I said I was going to make a second response video to the video by 2011 minority who apparently was also, I don't know if it was originally or but at least previously 2009 minority. Um, right, yeah, I got that right. Okay, so the video again that I'm responding to is black females hate Asian guys, um, in parentheses, AMBW relationships, Asian men, black women. So, I made a list this time so that I could keep up with what I wanted to say, so that I didn't leave anything out. This response, the first response was me basically kind of hitting on this guy, kind of. I basically just made note that he's an attractive man, very attractive, quite handsome. Don't know if he's still single because at the end of this video he said he was. Not really completely relevant since he probably doesn't live anywhere near me. But, um, also, yeah, camera angle changed, lighting sucks more. I'm tired, and I got tired of sitting up trying to have a good angle and good lighting, which still kind of sucked for my videos. I am in bed now because I like shooting my videos in bed because it's comfortable, and I have a heated mattress. I am off topic. Back to my point. Um, One thing he mentioned was skin tone, which seems to be, a big topic on here. Um, Not on YouTube in general, although, yeah, kind of. I'm sure there are probably millions of videos that talk about skin tone and such. There's been a big debate in general, not just with what he said, this guy that I'm responding to. There's been like this weird, not really battle, but this just like thing about light skin versus dark skin, because dark skin people think, and I'm not saying that this is what I think. I am not saying that this is what I think. I'm saying that this is what I've heard. This is what some people think, and this appears to be the reason for the debate and the argument and the blah 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 blah. So, darker skinned people think that lighter skinned people think that we're better than them, and I say we because I am light skinned. Um, Again, this is not my opinion, but darker skinned people think that light skinned people think that they're better, and that also they're kind of betraying their background because they think that they're better because they're closer to white, um, because that is the ideal beauty or some crap, which is, funny because they tan. Anyway, um, so this has been paired, I guess. I'm not really thinking straight right now, so, this has been attributed, there we go, that's the word I was looking for. This has been attributed to, um, the fact that, like, for example, for at least black people back in, slavery times, there were house slaves and there were field slaves, and the field slaves were darker and the house slaves were lighter because they weren't working out in the sun all the time. And I don't get it. I don't get it. No one is any better than anyone else unless you're just a crappy person, meaning like you don't treat people properly, because then you're not a good person. If you can't be good to other people, um, that's what makes you a bad person, not because your skin tone is a certain way. People are beautiful the way they are. I may not find everyone in the world attractive, but somebody does. Therefore, like I said, people are beautiful the way they are. But then apparently the light skinned people think dark skinned people don't like them because they don't fit in, because they're not dark enough, and blah, 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 blah. Or sometimes there are light skinned people that think they're better, which is stupid. They're not worse, but they're not better. Like, it's just not okay. I, for me, personally, not about other people, but my personal preference about how I look, I like myself more the darker I get. So I love the fuck out of summer. And yeah, I swear. So if you're going to be offended by that, I'm sorry. But every once in a while, I'm going to say something. I'm not really trying to censor myself, I'm just talking. I like myself best the darker I get. I don't know why. I just, I feel like I have this glow, I guess, about me. Kind of like that so-called after-sex glow. I mean, it's not the same thing. I just feel like I look healthier and nicer. That could be because I have jaundice, because I am anemic. Um, I'm pretty sure I've made a video about me having sickle cell. So, yeah, I have sickle cell. I'm permanently anemic, so I have jaundice. Jaundice tends to, like, make your skin, your nails, and your eyes have a yellow tint to them, like a kind of, I guess you could technically say, abnormal yellow tint. So I think I look kind of odd the paler I get, because the yellow comes out more in a sickly sort of way. So I think that's probably why. But that doesn't mean that everyone looks better the darker they are, and that the darker you are, the hotter you are. Be proud of you. If you're dark, love your darkness. Love your skin, no matter what color it is. Love you. It just makes sense to me. If anybody's gonna love you, it's gotta be you. Well, how can you expect anyone else to love you if you don't love yourself? It's kind of unfair. Hold everyone else to a higher standard than you hold yourself. Doesn't make sense to me. Um, Moving on to my next point. I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. This video might be extra long, just because, like I said, this isn't scripted. Yeah, I made a list this time, so I know what I'm trying to say, but I didn't, like, type the whole thing out and I'm not reading it to you. I look at my list to make sure that I know what the topic is, but other than that, just winging it. So, he mentioned the fact that uh, he was hanging out with a Hmong guy, and he hung out with all his other friends were Asian, and he asked him, how come you don't hang out with other Asians? Why don't you stick to your own kind, basically? Okay, both races do that. In fact, all races do that in a general sense. Obviously, there are people who have friends that aren't the same race as them. But if you notice, black people in general like to hang out with other black people. The Asians at my school in college, yes, I go to college, 22 years old. I know I don't look like it, but they usually like to hang out with other Asian people. Um, and it's funny, I've also noticed um, kind of a little mini segregation between Asians. The uh, International Student Organization, like, all the different international students hang out together for the most part, because, and I think this is the reason why, and I'm not trying to sound like crappy about it, but it's possibly because they have a lot of classes together, because some of them have to take the whole ESL thing, English as a second language, in case you don't know the abbreviation. And people tend to make friends in the classes that they're in. And it's not like there's separate ESL classes for each language. Like, oh, all the Spanish speakers have to go to this ESL class. All the Asians have to go to this one. No, you're all in the same class. Just depends on what time you could take it. So that's the only time I really see the international students hanging out together, is when they're working on ESL homework and they're talking about teachers that they have together. Otherwise, even Asians will split up. All the Japanese people will hang out with the Japanese people. All the Chinese people hang out with the Chinese people. Maybe it's because some of them came from China to study abroad, but I don't know. I always thought that if I went to a different country, I would want to hang out with people from that country. Because I could go home and hang out with all the black people. I'm just saying. Like, I could go home and hang out with all the Americans I want to. I'm an American. I'm around Americans all the time. I'm gonna go to China. Let me go find all the rest of the Americans that are in China. Might as well just stay home. Like, I understand the comfort zone thing, and it is nice because you get homesick. These students are out like thousands, hundreds, or not hundreds, wow, I'm going backwards, possibly millions of miles away from home. They may or may not have gotten a phone plan that lets them talk internationally. They may or may not um, have contact with their family very often. It gets lonely. So I can understand, wanting to hang out with people that speak your language, that understand your culture, and that come from a similar background so that you can have someone that can relate to that part of you. But you kind of got to broaden your horizon. It's only fair. And for people that hang out with people outside of their race, I don't understand why people within your race would give you crap for it. I've always gotten, why don't you hang out with other black people? She just doesn't like other black people, or you're not black enough. Excuse me? I'm not black enough. You just want me to, like, climb back in the womb and try again? Like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, would I just not come out dark enough? Do I not speak the right way? Like, I don't understand what that's supposed to mean. Oh, because I don't act exactly like you? Trust me, nobody wants a duplicate of themselves. It's nice to have people that have things in common with you, but you don't want someone to be exactly like you. People like being individuals and people like being unique. So don't come at me talking about, oh, well, you're just not this enough. I'm me enough. And that's all you're gonna get. Oh, well, I'm just gonna, okay, I'm not black enough? Well, you're not smart enough. Like, does that make you feel good? I mean, what is, you're not you enough. Like, just don't, that doesn't make any sense. I wish that all races would get over this. I don't look for people like, oh, you look the same as me, so you're probably gonna be the same as me, or close enough. Let's hang out. No, no. I'll look at someone and I might say, well, they look like they might like this kind of music. I'm not looking at them like, well, they're white, so they're gonna like this kind of music, so I'm gonna go hang out with them because I like that kind of music. No. You just look like you might like that kind of music. Or, hey, you're in my class. Well, what kind of music do you like? Oh, we don't like the same kind of music. Well, what kind of this do you like? Find stuff out. Class is the perfect way to do that, honestly. Sorry for people who aren't in school anymore. Jobs. Jobs, you can do that at jobs. Go walk somewhere safely. Maybe ask a friend that you already have if they want to go somewhere. Try somewhere new. I mean, go to a freaking restaurant and chat up the wait staff. Like, if it's like a lax restaurant, not a really ritzy fancy one, you can't be distracting people from their jobs, seriously. But, I mean, just to find stuff out. Or, like, if you don't go to school right now, like, if you're having financial trouble or if you're just out of school, okay, don't be the creepy old guy hanging around college still. But, like, go to a college campus and just hang out in the library or something. Don't pretend that you go there, but, broaden your horizon. I'm sick of this hang out with your own kind. Last time I checked, we were all human, so why can't we all just chill? Um, he mentioned, God, how long is this video? Oh my goodness. You know, alright, I'm gonna, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one and just do another one.